They say that the loudest sound in an economy isn't the construction, it's the return of confidence. For 5 years, we've been fixing the house. The scaffolding was messy, but in July 2026, the structure is finally visible. Today, we aren't looking at what was promised, we're looking at what is standing. Welcome to the final Indaba on the election. Many people, including a lot of you watching me right now, will say that the previous PF administration was the party of infrastructure. And guess what? You have a point. They broke the ground on many of the assets we see today. But infrastructure without funding, my dear friends, is just a monument. Subliminally, the biggest achievement of the UPND has been oxygen. Plain and simple. Because when the New Dawn took over, they inherited a dry pipeline. Projects that were stalled, overpriced, or even unpaid, and sometimes even a combination of all three. While juggling a $23 billion debt, restructuring and functioning on a razor-thin budget, the government had to find the funding to finish what was started. They moved us from default to development. They didn't just inherit buildings, they inherited the bills and they've been paying them. With that long build-up out of the way, let's put our finger back on the pulse and talk about the costly mistake of the SMK and its rebuttal. You see, $397 million was budgeted for the Simon Mwansa Kapwepwe Airport. It was commissioned in 2017 and physically opened in 2021. So why is it in our 2026 verdict? Well, because construction is a contract, but activation is a strategy. The UPND had to bridge a $40 million funding gap for the secondary activation infrastructure, like the fuel farms and the cargo terminals, that actually make it an international hub. Number one, the cargo engine. We shifted focus to move 8,000 tons of cargo per annum, which also services the Kantanga mining region in the DRC, which is just about 200 kilometers away from the airport. And then there's the break-even realism as a result, because at a projected 30 million annual revenue, that's in US dollars, SMK is set to break even in 15 to 18 years. This is comparable to other projects in Africa, where they take 25 years to reach break-even point. So we're accelerating the return on investment by 30% by prioritizing regional trade over vanity. This isn't just a building anymore. Now it's a business. Now let's talk about the consistency here, because it's not just SMK. From the Kitwich-Ndola Road to the Kazangula Bridges logistics, the theme has been finish the work. The UPND took the inherited portfolio, scrubbed it for corruption through the IFMIS sieve, and ensured that projects like the Lusaka Township roads weren't just trophies, but functional links for our SMEs and consequently our citizens. This is the Zambia-Proof standard, value for money over middleman markups. At the beginning of this journey, I held up this card and told you that your vote is your right and of course your secret. In no way has this government been perfect. There are still many things that need to be addressed, many projects that need to be completed, and many voices that still feel that they haven't been heard. But as we have seen over these 38 episodes, a great many obstacles have been tackled. They found the funding while the door was being knocked on by creditors. They finished the bridges while restructuring the debt. I hope that I have highlighted these shifts to you in a manner that gives you clarity. Only you can decide whether or not this government deserves another 5-year mandate to finish what has been started. Here's my final business Indaba question to you in this series. We've looked at the debt victory and the SMK logistics hub. Based on the evidence, do you believe the government has earned the right to accelerate for another 5 years? And specifically on SMK, is the 15-year break-even target realistic? Let's have our final debate in the comments. The house is fixed, the water is clear. What are you going to build next? Stay transparent, stay ambitious, stay Zambia-proof, and of course, like and subscribe and share these videos. I'm your host, and I hope to see you on our next series. For now, take care.